So we are live. Hello, good afternoon, everyone. You are welcome to our Facebook Live session at Baby Child and Co. Once again,
Yeah.
today we are talking about zinc and the growing child. While I wait for a few people to join, let me just tell you about Baby Child and Co. Baby Child and Co. is an NGO, and we talk about child health issues because we want to have healthy children. We believe that when your children are healthy, then the family is happy. Um, let me just share. Let me just share it to, and then you can also share as well. If you've just joined in, please share to your groups and share to your pages as well.
Mm.
And yes. So at Baby Child and Co, what we do is child health education, like I said. We do that through blogging, we do that through videos, and we engage you wherever you want us to engage you. Just because we want to have children who are happy. It seems that there's a lot of, when it comes to health, there are lots of questions, and we want to help to answer those questions for you because we believe that when you have the right information, then you can make the right choices for your babies and for your children as well.
Mm.
So our blog is babychilandco.com. We have a lot of articles on there to help you. We also have a parenting club that you can join. When you join the parenting club, what we do is that every week we reach you via mail and we share with you articles and things that we think are relevant to the health of your child, just helping you to make the right decisions for your child. And we have a community forum where you can go and ask your questions, you can make comments, you can just basically interact with other parents as well. This show is we are supported by Zincovit. Zincovit is a multivitamin that has zinc, vitamin A, the B vitamins, with a very nice flavor, a very nice taste for your child. And because we are talking about zinc, they thought it wise to come on board to help us to do this one. Um, I'm still waiting for a few more people to join, but I'll start introducing my guests. You can see her already. She's Mrs. Pearl Selome. Um, she's a registered dietitian nutritionist. She's very passionate about what she does. And it's her passion. That is why Baby Child and Co. has drawn her into the team. She's very, very passionate. And she has given you child nutrition education. You will really understand it. And you just feel her passion in what you do. So that is Mrs. Pearl Salome. She practices at St. Elizabeth Hospital. So you're welcome, Pearl. And
Thank you very much.
I'm
Thank you
still,
for having me.
yes, it's always a pleasure. I'm still waiting for a few more people to join. And I'll just ask that you share it to your groups, you share it to your various platforms as well. Um, yes. Okay. So today we are talking about zinc. We're talking about zinc because zinc functions in every system in our body. It
Yeah.
functions in our immune system. It functions in our immune system. It protects us against respiratory illnesses or respiratory diseases. And then it helps us to heal when we have respiratory diseases. We know that children cold and cough every time, cold and cough, and then diarrhea. So these are two key illnesses that are common in childhood: cold and cough, and then respiratory illnesses. And zinc protects us against them, and also helps us to get well fast when we have these respiratory illnesses. I Joyce Awuku says that it's good to be here again. Hi Mary, I've seen Mary Ayim. She just came on. She says hello,
Hello.
hello, Mary. Yes. Zinc helps in wound healing as well. It helps the body to grow. All our cells need to grow, and zinc helps with that. If you are concerned about your child's hair, and then I also get lots of questions about children's skin. If you are concerned about any of those, zinc is the nutrients for you. And then when we talk about linear growth, your child growing tall, zinc is also the nutrients for you. Many Ghanaian children, just like children in developing countries have poor intakes of zinc, and that is why we are doing this. So I think that I have talked enough. If you just joined us, Mary, Joyce, please share to your walls so that your friends can also see. Margaret is saying hello to you, Pearl. Margaret says she's watching you live. All right. So, Pearl, what is zinc? When we say zinc, what is it?
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks for having me today. I'm excited to be here because, children are our future. They are the future of the world, and so that's what drives my passion towards nutrition among infants. Because I believe you and I, in the next 30 years or 40 years, will be old women and old men, and these are the people who will be making decisions for us. So I think it's important we focus on making sure that they are growing right with the right nutrients. Okay, so straight to your question. Zinc, as we already may have heard, it's a trace element, it's a micronutrient, and it's a mineral. And like you rightly said, it's forms, you can find zinc in almost every part of our body because it's involved in cell formation. And
But you
like
said it's a trace element, it's a micronutrient. What does that mean?
meaning that even though it's very important for cell multiplication and all that, we don't need it in a very large
Okay.
quantity in the body. And it's
Okay.
actually not stored in your body, meaning that
Wow.
every single day you need some amount of zinc. Now,
Okay.
our body is made up of numerous millions of cells, and like you already know, a cell is the basic unit of life. Meaning that if your cells are not getting the right nutrients, your life, everything about your body, your systems will not go right. And so zinc is a very important antioxidant. Like I said, it's not needed in very large quantities. At the
Now you
same
have said
time,
antioxidants. What are antioxidants? What do they do for us?
so antioxidants are also nutrients. They are also micronutrients. So you hear vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E. We call them antioxidants. Now, they are involved in maintaining the integrity of your cell. Like I said, our body is made up of cells, and sometimes the metabolic processes that our bodies go through make these cells go through what we call oxidative stress. And so you need the antioxidants to protect your cells from free radicals. So, in simple terms, you have electrons, which are byproducts of metabolic processes. So, you
I think
need
in simple terms, antioxidants sweep our houses for us. Like
exactly,
they are clearing
yeah,
up. So they sweep
yeah,
our houses for us. Our houses
yeah.
are our bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So the antioxidants are actually helping clear those toxins and things, metabolic process, metabolites that are not so good for our bodies. They help clear them out of our system for us. And so, if you are not getting a good amount of antioxidants in your system, your body will even age faster than it should, right?
So if you eat zinc or you take zinc in any form, and you are a child, you know that your childlike skin isn't going to age as fast as if you didn't have zinc.
Exactly,
Yes, your
exactly.
nice hair,
Yeah.
is not going to, everything is going to be nice, Yeah.
Fresh and glowing.
Yes.
You'll be glowing and growing,
Okay.
So yeah, so that's what zinc does for us. It's also does gene expression, like so many things. Like I said, every part of our body needs zinc. And so if you are not getting enough zinc in your diet, you are doing your body more harm than good. And especially for growing children, since they are still growing, they need a quite amount of zinc daily in their meals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you already said that our bodies do not store zinc, and because our bodies do not store zinc, we will need to be eating zinc all the time.
Yeah.
because there's no system that if you ate a lot of zinc last week and then today you haven't eaten zinc, the one from last week will compensate
Will
for
be stored.
today's own. Meanwhile, there are lots of nutrients like that the body does store, but zinc is one of the ones that the body does not store.
Yeah.
So then, because you say we should be eating it every day, how much zinc should a child have? I know that children normally we are expressing their needs per kilo because they are
Yeah.
growing, their weight vary. But if you
Yeah.
can just use a practical guide for us,
Okay.
so if you eat maybe this amount of zinc containing food, you are getting enough zinc, something practical that parents we can
We
relate
can
to.
all is okay. So when we take children, for those who are between the ages of 0 to 6 months, the breast milk they are taking for the exclusively breastfed children, the breast milk provides them the zinc that they need from
Okay,
0 to 6 months. It gives them
okay,
about 2 milligram of zinc, which is
okay,
what they require. Now,
okay,
after 6 months, they need about 3 milligram of zinc a day, and the breast milk is no longer able to give them that after the 6 months. That is when you would have to complement it with food.
okay,
Right. So that's why complementary feeding right after the 6 months is very critical. Whatever you are giving the baby should be able to meet both the macro and micronutrients that they need for a day. And like I said, zinc is a micronutrient. And
okay,
so for children who are above 6 months, they need about 3 milligram of zinc a day. So, for
okay,
example, if you are giving your child about a cup of oats, a cup of
okay,
oats,
okay,
you are getting about 2.8,
okay,
2.9 milligram of zinc, which is
okay.
almost like what they
Yeah,
require for a
almost
day.
completely.
And
Okay,
mind you, it's not just the oats the baby is going to be eating during the
okay,
day. You may give other things like fruits, you may give other things like protein. I'm
okay,
sure we'll get there. There is something about absorption of zinc. I'm sure
okay,
as the discussions go on,
okay,
we'll understand certain things because
okay,
sometimes people are eating the foods all right, but the body is not actually absorbing the zinc. So you
okay,
are eating everything you think should be giving you zinc, but your
okay,
body is not recognizing it. There is a
okay.
reason for that. I'm sure as we discuss and go along, you will understand that.
Okay, that's very nice. I want to react to some of the things you have just said. But if you just joined us, this is Baby Child and Co. My name is Dr. Sarah Moby, and Mrs. Pelselome is a passionate, very, very passionate dietitian. She understands and then she loves what she does. It's really the love that draws you to her. And we are talking about zinc for the growing child. She said that zinc is a micronutrient. We need it in every system in our body. We need it in every single thing. And because mothers, we are usually worried about our children's hair, our children's skin, you need zinc so that your baby or your child has very nice skin, very nice hair as well. Even for brain development, you need zinc. Um, so you can share this to your pages, your timeline, so that your friends can also benefit from what we are saying. Because we are doing this because we want our children to be healthy, and we are doing this with Zincovit. Zincovit is a multivite, zinc and other vitamins, vitamin A and the B vitamins. Very nice flavor. And since we are talking about zinc, we are doing this with them today. Okay, so you said that
Dr. Sarah,
yes,
sorry,
please.
before you go on, let me just add this before we probably forget not to talk about it.
Okay.
Now that there is COVID, we've been talking about zinc, even with the patients who have COVID, they are given zinc. One thing that zinc does for you is that it inhibits the multiplication of some viruses.
Exactly, exactly. That is why zinc
So,
is
if,
very important in respiratory illnesses and
yeah,
even in diarrhea.
yeah,
Zinc will make sure it will shorten the duration of the diarrhea. So if without zinc you are going to go for 6 days, zinc may make it shorter, fewer days, and then it gives you protection against
yeah.
diarrhea for the next 3 months or so. So that is zinc for you. I've just seen Delali Mensa says great information, thanks. If you just joined us, this is Baby Child and Co. Mrs. Pelselome and myself, Dr. Sarah Moby. We are talking about zinc for your growing child today. So the things that you said that I want to react to. First, you said that if you are a baby who is exclusively breastfeeding, is getting all the requirements of zinc for the day from breast milk, which I totally love, because our baby, child, and co, we are interested in helping you to be able to breastfeed your baby. But then I want to ask, what about if the mother is zinc deficient? What happens?
So if the mother is zinc deficient, what may happen is that the baby, usually when you're breastfeeding and even during pregnancy, your baby would always draw your stores, right? So in the end, it is the mother who suffers more. The baby will be getting, even though it may not meet the daily requirements for the baby would automatically be drawing your stores. So it's up to you to it's up to you, the mother, to
The
make sure
mother.
that you are
Yes.
getting what you need,
Yes.
right, for a day. So for
Yes.
adults,
So
we
your
need
baby
about
is
30.
always protected. But then it will now be to the detriment of the mother who is zinc deficient. But if you are zinc
Yes,
sufficient, there is no problem. But if you were
yes,
deficient,
yes,
then that's a problem for you. But the baby will always get. So that's why we say that even in war-torn areas, you can breastfeed your baby. Your baby will get
yes,
what the baby needs.
yeah.
Okay. This is
So
interesting
some
so far.
some
Yeah.
breastfeeding mothers usually sometimes would complain that I'm losing my hair. They see some signs on their body. It doesn't probably occur to them that they are sharing the nutrients with the baby they are breastfeeding. And so you have to always make sure you are getting extra.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
in our recommendation, we'll always say that the nutritional needs of you, the breastfeeding mother or a pregnant woman, is a bit higher than a mother who is probably not breastfeeding or is not pregnant. You have to eat to meet the needs so that your baby is getting what he or she needs, and then your body is also well compensated in that regard. Yeah.
All right. All right, interesting discussion so far. So we've talked about zinc and exclusive breastfeeding. You should breastfeed your baby. What you should do as a breastfeeding mother is to make sure that you get all the nutrients. And so if you're not eating well, then there will be the need for you to supplement. Okay. Now you mentioned earlier on that zinc is you mentioned a few food sources of zinc, but can we talk more about that? What are the food sources of zinc? Where are we getting zinc from?
Okay.
You've already mentioned oats. I have that in mind.
Okay, so mostly the zinc that is more bioavailable to the body, that is the zinc that your body can absorb very well, is mostly from the animal products, even though we get some from the plant sources. So, like the legumes and the rest, you get some zinc from those foods. But the zinc that is more bioavailable to the body is more from the animal products. So your eggs, your fish, your chicken, your turkey, and all that. Most of the zinc that will be well absorbed by your body, you get from those foods. Now, for the plant sources of zinc, because of certain anti-nutrients, we call certain things in food anti-nutrients.
So
So
before we get
phytate,
to the anti-nutrients, you've said that the zinc that the body likes to absorb is the one in
the
animal foods.
animal, yeah,
Huh. But so when we start, especially when the babies are from 6 to 8, 9 months, what
yeah,
normally happens is that period. It's always a very tricky period because
yeah,
they've been taking their breast milk, they love it, and then now
yeah,
you're introducing other things they may not
yeah,
like. And at that
yeah,
time, it's very difficult. You should
yeah,
try and you can do it, but it's difficult to
yeah,
get them to accept
yeah,
proteins. Well,
yeah,
animal proteins, I mean.
yeah.
So it means that this is a period that we should watch when we are thinking
Exactly,
about zinc for your child, or what do you say?
exactly. Exactly, because the zinc to be fully absorbed in your body, you need some um, proteins, right? And these proteins are mostly found in the animal products, like I said. So your chicken, your eggs, your fish, and all that. So for a child who may probably have no tooth in the mouth, because before you consider any complementary feed you are giving to the baby, you are looking at what the dentition of your baby. So for example, we are talking about chicken. Somebody will ask, then how do I get the baby to eat the chicken? You can blend it into a paste. and then add it to the baby's meal. For example, if it is egg, you could blend it with the cereal and give it to the baby, right? So it's important, you make the animal products or the proteins into a texture that the baby can easily accommodate. Because, like we said, for growing babies or for growing children, it's very important. There is a lot of cell division and cell multiplication going on there in their bodies. So if they are not getting enough zinc, it means you are exposing their body to also infections. And right now, in the era that we find ourselves, it will
Okay.
be the best thing to do for your baby to
Okay.
make sure that
Okay.
they are getting enough defenses. Now, one thing about the zinc also is that, with our immune system, we have two different teams that are working for us. We have the innate team cells, and then the another team that's also helping us fight the pathogens. If you are not getting enough zinc, the innate cells wouldn't be able to deal with the pathogens that would attack your cells. That's the one important thing about zinc. So if your baby is not getting enough zinc, the infections they keep getting, the flu here and there, the body ache, the chills they get from infections, you may want to check whether my baby is getting a good amount of zinc and even the
Thank you.
source of the zinc you are giving
Okay.
the baby.
Okay, all right. So we're talking about the sources of zinc. You were speaking about the very bioavailable one, or the one that the body likes to
Yes.
absorb, which is
Yeah.
from the animal sources. And what
Yeah.
about the plant sources?
So for the plant sources, we have nuts and seeds. So we have something like cashew, we have almonds, we have chia seeds, you have your beans, But with the plant sources of zinc, because of phytate, I mentioned anti-nutrients as one thing that inhibits the absorption of zinc. So the anti-nutrients in the legumes, in the those seeds, would inhibit how much your body is able to absorb the zinc that is coming from those sources. But the good news is that you can cook them in a way or prepare them in a way that will break that bond. I'm sure we'll get there as the discussions go
But
on.
what you are saying, which is very interesting, is that you can have a food that
Yeah,
is abundant in zinc,
yeah,
but that food will still make you not get enough zinc when you eat it. That's what you're
yeah,
saying. So it's like
yeah,
there is the zinc, and then there is like an anti-zinc or
yeah,
anti-nutrient
yeah,
combined with the zinc, and then it
yeah.
makes it difficult for you to absorb the
Your
zinc.
body
So
to recognize it. Yeah,
for you to, yes, your body to recognize the zinc.
yeah,
So then again, what comes to mind is supplementation, because you may be eating a lot of zinc containing
yeah,
foods, but if you don't prepare them in a way that makes it easy for the body to absorb the zinc, then you will not be getting the full benefit of those foods that you are eating. Anyway, if you just joined us on this Facebook Live, my name is Dr. Sarah Moby. I'm a pediatrician. I'm also CEO of Baby Child and Co. And then we have Mrs. Pearl Selome. We are talking about zinc for your growing child because it's very, very important. If you want beautiful babies, you can't not think about zinc. And we have your comments coming. Ameliosi has invited Naayele to come and learn. Okay, thank you. She's saying that she will take her zinc supplements regardless. And
yeah,
then
yeah.
yes, and then Sheila Hammond has also left a comment. She's also tagging someone. Thank you so much for the tags. Keep tagging and keep sharing. If you have questions, we are very, very happy. Just drop them down there. We'll show them and then we'll answer them for you. All right.
So,
So
please, before we go on again about the sources of zinc, so zinc is well absorbed when it's taken with a protein meal. For children, I'm going back to this because I know typically in our African homes, when we prepare food, we don't give too much proteins to the babies, to the children. Now, for your body to be able to absorb zinc very well, you need some amino acids that you get from the proteins. So now we are begging parents that when you prepare the meal, you should give a lion's share of the proteins to the children. because zinc is very important for them at this
But,
stage.
but
And
the issue is that there are some children who don't like the protein. I remember one of my children, whatever
yeah,
protein you gave him, I mean, as long as it is an animal source of protein, he didn't like it. So I
okay,
resorted to offering shito with every meal. So be it
okay,
chicken, I will prepare it into shito. Be it fish,
okay.
I'll prepare it into shito. So I did that to the extent that now that he's older, he only eats shito. He doesn't eat soup. He doesn't eat stew. He only eats
So,
shito. So sometimes the children won't take the protein. You offer it, they won't take. You beg them, they won't take.
so what you can do is that, children can be interesting. There are tricks to it. They are tricky, but we are also smarter than them, because we are older. So you can make it into a texture and mix it with a meal that they like. So, for example, some children like maybe spaghetti. Your child likes spaghetti. You can make you blend the chicken. Maybe you get some chicken breast, or if it is fish, you make it into flakes, maybe salmon flakes, and then you use that to prepare the stew. So he wouldn't see the meat
You won't
or the
see, yeah.
fish on
Yeah.
top of the food,
That's
but
like
it's
my shito
mixed.
style.
It's mixed with the food. So
Yeah.
there are interesting ways around to get them to eat the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
have to identify their favorite foods and make sure that you are inculcating the ones they don't like in a very lively way for them. And then also you have to involve them sometimes in the cooking process. They will mess up your kitchen, but once they know that they are involved, we are all on the same team and we are preparing this meal together, we all eat together. So
Yeah.
there are interesting ways to go around it to get them to eat the food.
Yes, excellent. So we are going to talk about ways of cooking that will make the zinc to come out in a form that the body likes to absorb. But let me just say hi to Sarah Majokache, Efwa Gloria, Kwesi Bafo, Gentle Faith, Sheila Hammond, and Samuel Odro, who have joined us. We are so happy to have you because we are doing this for you. So please tag your friends, share it as well. And we are just talking about zinc because we want you to have healthy children. And in the case of zinc, not only healthy children, but happy children and beautiful children, children who do well in school for you. Okay, so
Yeah.
please, Mrs. Solomon, if you can tell us about ways that we can cook our food so that zinc comes in a form that our body likes to absorb.
Okay, so we have indigenous ways of cooking. In the past, when our grandmothers were preparing certain meals for us, they would usually soak it first for some time. I remember my grandmother would soak the beans for some time before she cooks it. And then you're hungry, you're waiting for her to put the thing on fire, and she tells you that, oh, I want it to become soft. Maybe in their own way, they didn't think about preserving the integrity of the zinc in the food, but probably they just thought about, I want to get it softer. So you can actually soak the food, the whatever it is. For example, if it is beans you are cooking, you can soak the beans for some minutes or an hour before you boil it. And then when you soak it in the water, you throw away that water. It helps to reduce the phytate in it so that when you take it, at least a good amount of the zinc can be absorbed. But like I said, zinc always needs a good amount of some amino acids around it to be able to activate itself in whichever environment it finds itself. So you still have to make sure that you are adding enough proteins to the food you are giving to the child. Apart from soaking it, you can also ferment it for a while. You ferment the food for a while before preparing it. That can also improve the absorption of zinc. You can also roast it before, yeah, you use these methods of cooking, like roasting, boiling it well. It actually reduces these antagonists that is around the zinc that's making it not being fully absorbed for you. Yeah, so those are some of the things that we can do to
I would say
improve.
zinc is very tricky. It's
Yes,
everywhere
it
in the
is.
food around
It
us,
is.
yes. But
It
if
is.
you don't cook the food well, you won't get your zinc. And then you are
Exactly.
saying that if you don't serve it with some amino acids, which is in proteins, you are
Yeah.
not getting the zinc the way you
Yeah.
should get it. So it's
Yeah.
very tricky. It's abundant. I mean, it's just as abundant in the foods we eat as it is abundant in our bodies,
Yeah.
because everything from the hair on your head to your feet needs zinc
Yeah.
to work. Okay,
Yeah.
so if you just joined us, please share to your news feeds. Please tag your friends. We are talking about zinc. And then we are doing this under the auspices of Baby Child and Co. Baby Child and Co. is an NGO. We are into child health education. So if there's any child health education that you want resource people for, you can contact us and we will come and sort you out very nicely. And we have a parenting club that you can join. It's free. We offer personalized guidance every week to you, and it is totally free. You don't pay anything for it. You can also join our community forum there, and we want to know the issues that are important to you. So you can ask your questions, you can respond to questions, you can just share parenting tips with other parents. It's free, and then we are there to help you answer your questions. And we are only interested in helping your children to be healthy so that you can be happy. And we are doing this with Zinc COVID. Zinc COVID, they say that when children are healthy, the nation is stronger.
Yeah.
Everywhere, we know that children are the future of the nation. So we want them to be healthy. Not only for their own sakes, but for the sake of the family as well. Because when your child is sick, then you have to go to hospital, time away from work. Sometimes it's so inconveniencing and all those things. Yes, and we want your children to eat zinc. We are saying that zinc is very, very tricky. It's everywhere, but if you don't take time, you are not going to get a zinc, or your child is not going to get as much zinc as he or she should get. And then sometimes the children may need supplementation because of that. Okay, all right.
So
So if you have
zinc likes to be pampered.
zinc is like a last born. The last borns don't get upset.
Yeah, it likes to
Yeah,
be, even though
yeah,
it's a micronutrient, you don't need it so much. But if you don't take care of me well, I don't act well in your favor. That's how
yeah,
the zinc works.
yeah.
But I want to quickly talk about some of the signs of zinc deficiency that
Okay,
maybe parents may want to look out for around their children. So if your child keeps getting a lot of allergies, right? If your child keeps getting right from the word go, well, we know that some children may have some autoimmune conditions that may make them get these allergic reactions here and there. But if you don't have if that is not the case, and your child keeps getting some allergies every now and then, you want to check whether they have enough zinc in their system, or whether you are getting them to eat enough zinc. If you keep getting the child keeps getting a lot of nausea, or they have very dry and rough skin, their
the
appetite
skin,
is
oh, the
so,
skin, because day in
yes,
day out, mothers are coming to me. My friends are calling me. I'm seeing them in the consulting room. My baby skin has this. My baby skin has that. My child's skin
dry.
has. So the
Yeah,
skin. When you talk
yeah,
about skin and hair, mothers they
yeah,
sit up. The skin.
yeah. You know, the skin is one of the largest organs of our bodies. It's one of the largest because it's covering the whole body. And so you want to be observing your baby's skin. If it gets too dry, the baby's skin gets too dry and flaky, you want to check whether your baby is getting enough zinc. Also, when they're having a lot of diarrhea, your baby keeps getting, you know that you are maintaining all your hygiene protocols at
Yeah,
home
yeah,
and off
yeah.
home,
So
and your baby,
now, according to the WHO recommendations, the treatment of diarrhea necessarily includes zinc. So
zinc,
whenever
yeah,
your child has diarrhea, even as home management, you're supposed to use ORS and zinc. To the extent that zinc is over the counter, you can buy it. So you when your child has diarrhea, you replace the water that the child is losing with ORS, and then you give zinc. It shortens the duration of the diarrhea, and then it offers protection for about the next 3 months. The zinc that you have given during this diarrhea illness will protect your child. So the thing about zinc and certain micronutrients is that there are people or children who have deficiencies, but they may not even show any signs.
yeah,
So that is one of the reasons why now anybody who has diarrhea, apart from the fact that we know that it will help to resolve the diarrhea, we give it to them because there are people with zinc deficiency, but they don't show any signs. So these signs that you are talking about, they are sort of like late signs, because when you lack zinc initially, you don't show any signs.
Yeah.
So every opportunity, like children get a lot of diarrhea, anytime they get, we want to supplement, give them some zinc to help them, but they don't show any signs. And by the time that you show signs, I mean, you've really been zinc deficient for a long time. Yeah, but I
Yeah.
thought the first one you are going to mention is the one that you really, really work with, the the
Well,
malnutrition. Yes.
stunting. Yeah. So that is why now, as part of the growth monitoring processes that babies go through, every 3 months, you're supposed to go for your baby's length to be measured, the length or the height. But one thing, unfortunately, is that if your baby gets stunted by age 2, unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it. That's the unfortunate part. It means that you have to make sure that by the time your baby is hitting 2, they are getting enough zinc and all the nutrients that they require for growth. And in the case of zinc, we are saying that it helps with cell multiplication and growth and all that. So it's important for parents to make sure that right from 6 to age 2, your baby is getting the enough zinc that they need every day, because zinc is not stored. Make sure that whatever you are offering them, whether it is a snack or a major meal, a good amount of zinc is in there for them.
Yeah.
So I just want to share a quick one example of a meal that can give you a whole, maybe a day's zinc, the amount of zinc that the baby may need for a day. You know,
Exactly.
sometimes we tell mothers to prepare, even with adults, we say, okay, you can make a smoothie. The good thing about smoothies is that you are adding so many things at the same time. And for children, especially for those who are battling with inadequate weight gain, smoothies are one easy way of getting them to gain a lot of weight. Because when you take something like bananas it gives you a lot of calories. So you can combine your banana with some mango, with some apples, and then some chia seed. You can add a scoop of peanut butter and then blend it together. And maybe you add a little bit of some granola to it, blend everything together. And this it will definitely give you more than 2 milligram of your zinc for a day. So your tropical smoothie is an easy way of getting your baby to get the day's zinc need for them.
Yeah, so I mean, I would gladly take a smoothie any day, but you know how picky our babies
Children.
are and children are. Yes, and here's a case that we are saying that if you lack zinc and you get stunted, you have become stunted. You know,
Yes. For
so
life.
yes, I didn't want to say for life because I didn't want to make
For
anyone
life.
sad.
For life.
Some of my friends who are
Unfortunately.
not tall and we didn't measure their zinc levels when they were young. If they are listening, I'm sure they will get upset with me. I didn't want to say that one. Okay,
That's
so
why we don't want history to repeat itself. That's why
okay,
we want to make sure
okay,
that
okay,
our
okay.
children are
I'll
taller
mention
than we are.
anyone's name. Okay. I'll mention anyone's name. Yeah, I mean, even though we are laughing and we are joking, zinc is serious business. And because we have
Yeah.
said that it is everywhere in your body. It's you
Yeah.
need it even for your cells to divide well.
Yeah.
And the whole body is made up of cells. So that is zinc for you. But we have
Yeah.
said also that the body does not have any means of storing zinc. So it means that day in, day out, you are supposed to take zinc. Zinc
Yeah.
is abundant. It's in so many foods, but the one that our body likes to absorb is the one in animal foods. And if you were to find zinc in other foods, sometimes if you don't know how to cook the food well, the zinc will be there, but your body will not even recognize that it is zinc
Recognize
because
it.
there are anti-nutrients in the same food as well. And then we also said if your zinc is coming from a plant source, because amino acids are needed to absorb it, you must always add some protein to it. And here
Yeah.
we are talking about children, and we know that children are very picky. They don't want to accept. You give them the chicken that you yourself you are itching to eat. Oh, you give it to them. They won't mind you. Yeah. So she was showing us some of the ways, like a smoothie. Can give enough zinc to your child for a day. Yeah. All right. So please keep your questions coming in and your comments coming in. So I want some tough questions to give to our resource person because she really knows her stuff. But so far, I'm not seeing any tough questions. So please help me and give her some tough questions. She'll answer them for you. Margaret says she's really learning new things today and she's thanking all of us. And we are happy. We are doing this because of you. So
Yeah.
if you didn't, then we'll be sad. And
You
Ajua
know,
Kwahima is on.
doctor,
Yes.
for the zinc, it's not only about children. So even for women in their reproductive age, zinc is involved in cell production, cell multiplication, and all that. So if you are a woman who is also in your reproductive age, even preparing your body for pregnancy, you should get enough zinc for both
Excellent reminder.
yeah
Yes.
for both
Excellent
men and
reminder.
women, because
Yes.
for good sperm production you need a
Yes.
lot of zinc. You
Yes.
need a good
Excellent.
amount of zinc. So zinc
Excellent.
is not just for children. Today we are focusing on children, but I just wanted to bring that up because
Thank
it
you.
is
Thank
really,
you.
yeah,
Because I've worked with children for so many years, I tend to only think about children. But you are very right, you see, because parents are going to make the babies. And so if you are having some issues with conceiving as well, so zinc deficiency can cause what we call hypogonadism. That's what she said, that you don't really have good quality sperms. So zinc is through the ages, through the life cycle. Actually, it's just that baby child and co, you see our name baby child, so we tend to sometimes forget that
yeah,
it
a
is the
bit.
adults who take care of the children. We are sorry for that. Yeah. Okay. And yes, so keep your comments coming in. I've seen Sena Duku, you said something that will interest her. I hope she's still on. And then Jennifer has also given us a heart. So please bring some very, very difficult questions that I want to ask Mrs. Salome so that she will answer for us. Okay, so
Okay, someone,
now,
before we go on, Doc, maybe somebody may be probably wondering how come you may be deficient in zinc. How can you become deficient in zinc if you are eating? So if you are not, you are having a lot of diarrhea. Some people naturally, once they eat certain foods or even pepper, they start getting diarrhea. If you are prone to a lot of diarrhea, you are likely to be zinc deficient.
zinc
And
deficiency.
also, if you are found of those of us who like taking gobe, those of us who like taking a lot of gobe beans, if you are not careful because of the phytate in the beans, if it is not well processed,
And the
you may,
phytate is the anti-nutrients you talked
yes,
about. It prevents
yes,
the absorption of
yes,
other nutrients. Yeah.
yes, you may be getting zinc deficiency. Yeah, and then somebody who also has a liver or a kidney disease is also prone to zinc deficiency.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Sometimes we see, so the thing about zinc deficiency, as I mentioned, is that there are a lot of us, not most, a lot of children in developing countries, they have like zinc deficiency that is not
it's
manifest.
hidden.
So we
Yeah,
take the opportunity to just supplement them whenever
yeah,
they come to hospital with something that we think is related to zinc. But sometimes you see children with very bad dermatitis, very bad
yeah,
inflammation of the skin.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
yes, those children as well. There are actually some conditions like that specifically that are to do with the fact that the body cannot absorb zinc. So sometimes we
Yeah.
supplement them and then the bad dermatitis just resolves as well. Yes, and we also
So,
mentioned
Doc, sorry, before you go on, for such children, especially those who are coming with a very bad dermatitis and dermatosis, apart from giving them the zinc orally as supplementation, we also use zinc ointment to apply on those things that are appearing on their
on
skin.
the
And
skin.
within a week or two, you see everything is cleared and their skin is looking so very nice.
Yes,
Even after circumcision, for good wound healing, zinc ointment is used
yeah,
for the
yeah,
wound to heal
yeah,
well. So
yeah,
zinc
yeah,
is a very powerful, even though it's a micronutrient, it's still
yeah.
a very powerful nutrient that we shouldn't
Excellent.
joke with.
Excellent. See, our
Yeah.
dietitian is on top of her game. She's even taking over my job, but I don't mind. She's really on top of her game. So there is this question, eh? I said they should ask you big questions. So a big question
Okay.
has come. What will be the results in pregnancy and the reproductive stage when zinc is overconsumed? So I think let's break this question in two. Can we overconsume zinc? That's the first part of the question.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can overconsume zinc because, like I said, there is an amount that your body requires, and sometimes when it becomes too much in your system, just like the way the anti-nutrients are behaving, it wouldn't allow other nutrients to also be fully absorbed in the body, and then also it would also, like I said, it will inhibit the absorption of other nutrients, and so you don't want to overconsume it. You
So
can,
that is why if you are
yes,
supplementing, you need to go by the dosages that have been
yes,
stated
you need
by
to,
either the
yes,
doctor or, I mean, ideally the doctor, but all of them have packages and then they have on it the amount of zinc that you can consume.
yeah,
From studies that have been done generally and widely, we know that most people in developing countries, they lack zinc. So
zinc,
that is why, as part of the strategy, if you even have diarrhea, according to the WHO, you need zinc to be added to it. There are even studies that say that anytime pneumonia is being treated, zinc should be added
zinc
to
is
it. But
added.
that has not, yes, that has not been as widely taken up as the diarrhea one. Okay, now the second
And
part of the question. Yes.
look, please, the reason for the supplementation is also from how we prepare our meals. So
Okay.
we are cooking and knowing that, okay, I'm eating this, I'm eating that, I'm supposed to get my zinc. But the way the meal was prepared, that is why in most parts of the underdeveloped countries, zinc supplementation is ongoing because of our cooking methods, how we
Because
cook the
of the
food.
cooking
So
method
if you
makes
cook the
sense.
food all right, you're expecting to get the nutrients, but the way it was prepared, the
Okay.
nutrients will not be absorbed well in the body.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. So, like I said, we are doing this with Zincovit. Zincovit is a multivitamin, zinc and other vitamins added, and it has such a nice flavor. They have their it's in a liquid form, a form that is acceptable to the children, and then they also have the one that the adults can swallow as well. Okay. Now, the second part of the question is,
So
yeah, the results in pregnancy and reproductive stage when you overconsume zinc. Well, too much of everything is bad, and
yeah,
that's is the
yeah,
problem with zinc as well. Actually, some of the problems that you get when you don't have zinc, you can get similar things when you have too much zinc.
yeah.
So the result is that um, we talked about respiratory illnesses, diarrhea, but too much of zinc can also give you the same things. It can affect your sense of taste or your sense of
Taste,
smell.
yes,
Yes, um,
yeah.
yes, it can
And then
also
you can be
affect.
vomiting excessively.
Yes,
In
nausea,
pregnancy, you,
which you will
yeah,
get when you lack zinc anyway. But if
yeah,
you overconsume, then the same thing will happen to you. You have nausea and then you have vomiting as well. You also have diarrhea. You have
diarrhea,
headache, you have
diarrhea.
abdominal cramps.
Yes,
Yes. And like she said, it affects the absorption of other nutrients like iron and copper as well. So
yeah,
the thing is to go by the recommendations of your doctor, or everything has a package. So for children, for instance, we know that when your baby has diarrhea, if it's less than 6 months old, then that baby should take 10 milligrams of zinc a day for up to 2 weeks, 10 to 2 weeks, 10 days to 2 weeks. And the older ones, those who are more than 6 months old, when they have diarrhea, we give them 20 milligrams of zinc. Don't think that if you give more, the diarrhea will resolve faster, because actually, if you give too much, it will give you the same problem as well. Yes, thank you very much for that question. Like I said, I want big questions to come in for our dietitian to answer. Asioma is giving us a heart. Okay, we very much like that. If you haven't met us before, my name is Dr. Sarah Moby. I'm a pediatrician, and then I'm passionate about this child health education. I'm just as passionate as our dietitian. She also really loves her job. She's Mrs. Pearl Salome, a registered dietitian nutritionist who is interested in child health and is also interested in diseases that can be modified by lifestyle, like the food that you eat. And when you listen through her talk, you will see this passion show through. We are doing this with Zincovit, which is a brand of a multivite, contains zinc and then contains other vitamins as well. Yeah. So keep sharing, keep your questions coming in. Now there is another question from Mary Ayim. I'll just show the question on the screen. If I have diarrhea and I'm exclusively breastfeeding, how will it affect the baby? You've answered it partially, but if you can just say everything all over again.
Yeah, so if you're having diarrhea, we said you could be losing zinc. And so, if you are exclusively breastfeeding, earlier on I said for breastfeeding children, they get the amount of zinc they require for a day. But if you, the mother, is experiencing diarrhea, what it means is that the amount that your baby should be getting, the baby may not get it enough. So, you may require some supplementation with zinc
But it
to
is
make
you, the
sure that,
mother, who requires the supplementation, not
yes,
your exclusively
not your
breastfeeding baby.
baby. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the
So,
baby
if
will
it is,
always, yes, go
sorry,
ahead, girl.
if it's the baby who is having the diarrhea, depending on the intensity of the diarrhea, we may supplement with half dose for the baby of with
Okay,
zinc.
okay,
Yeah, but it's basically depends on the intensity. For example, if it's just twice a day and you, the mother, you are getting enough zinc, it's not much of an issue. But if the intensity is so much, like the baby is passing stools about 8 times to 10 times a day, then it certainly needs to be addressed.
okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right. So we have another question. Let me just try and show that one on the screen. That's from Gentle Faith. Hi, Gentle Faith. So the question is that, oh, okay, giving us a commendation first. We are really giving good education. Yes.
Thank you.
We thank you so much. We hope that you have shared. We are doing this for you, and we thank you for the very positive feedback. All right. Now her question is, an egg every day, can it help in getting zinc?
Yeah, so eggs give us like less than 1 milligram of zinc a day. So an egg a day is good because it's for growing children. For example, if the baby is above 1 year, we know that they need about 14 grams of protein a day. So if you give the baby one egg, you are giving the baby about 50% of their protein need for the day, meaning
So how
that
much protein is one egg?
7 grams.
Okay.
7 grams. So
Okay.
if your baby needs 14 grams a day and you are giving your baby one egg, it means that you have almost given her 50%
Half.
of their
Yeah.
protein need. But we know it's not only going to be the egg you give the baby. You certainly give some fish, you certainly give some beef or some other protein sources. So for the zinc, you're getting about 0.8 milligram from egg, meaning that you certainly have to look at other sources to make sure
Yeah.
that
That's just about
your baby
half.
is getting, yeah,
Yeah.
your baby
Yeah.
is getting almost all that he requires.
Yeah.
Yes, and
But
because we
I
also
really
said,
like Faith. Oh. I really like Faith. I wonder how old the child is, because I mean this child is happily accepting an egg a day. I mean that's a model child. You should come and dash me. Okay, okay. All right, all right.
so
Mary
Doc,
is,
when
yeah.
it comes to the eggs for children, I know they don't like eggs, but there are interesting ways of getting them to eat eggs. Maybe
Okay. Let's hear.
another time we'll talk about interesting ways to get children to eat foods that they don't likely are not likely to eat. For example, for the eggs, you can make it into scrambled eggs. If you make it into scrambled eggs, most children will take it. But when it's boiled, usually they will take the egg white and leave the yolk. Meanwhile, most of the essential nutrients are also
In
packed
the
in the
you.
yolk, and so the child will be losing. But if you make it into a scrambled egg, everything goes in there, so the baby gets the full benefit of eating the egg. So yes, the baby can have an egg a day, but let's also look at other sources to make sure that he's getting the full need of the zinc per day.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mary is thanking us for answering her question. Um, Asioma is also thanking us for the education. We are so happy. We are doing this for you. So it's we are happy to have you on. So while I wait for other questions, let me just talk about baby, child, and co again. So what we do is child health education, and we do that through blogging, that is writing articles on the internet, and then we do videos as well. And we do child health education anywhere you want us to do it. You can contact us, and then we will do that for you. We also do school health. We have at least one school whose school health we manage. So if you need us to, if you have like a creche or a kindergarten and you want your school children to be screened, or somebody to call when you want to discuss health issues, or somebody to come and give health talks, you can contact Baby Child and Co. And we will be happy to do that for you. If you want nutrition advice, see our very able, capable, passionate dietitian. We are more than ready to engage with you to anything that has to do with child health education. We are happy to do it with you. We have a parenting club that you can join. It is absolutely free. And then when you join, what we do is that every week we reach you via mail. And then we just forward things that are related to the health of your children to you according to their age. So it's personalized. So for instance, if you have a 4-month-old baby, we are talking about things like breastfeeding, we are talking about things like tummy time, developmental milestones. Whereas if you have a school age child, then we are talking about things that have to do with school age children. If you have a toddler, we are talking about toddler behavior and those sort of things. So it's everything is personalized. It depends on the age of your child. Or even when you are late pregnancy, you can actually join the parenting club, not only when you are a parent. Once you are an expectant parent, you can also join as well, because we like to tell you about what will happen in the initial days of having a baby, because at that time you are not in a mood to absorb much education, you know. So we do that with you even before you deliver. You just need to tell us when you deliver, so that we can change what we tell you and make sure that it's relevant to you. And today we are doing this with Zincovit. Zincovit is a multivite, zinc, and then some other nutrients added. It comes in a flavor that is very acceptable to the children. And then the older ones also don't, they have the pills that they can swallow. So it's not only the syrup. But if you're an adult and you want to take syrup too, your dose is different. You can take the syrup. If you have sweet tooth, you can take the syrup. Yes. So we've been discussing zinc. If you have just joined us, you are welcome. You can leave a comment. Even when you leave the comment after the show, we'll still get to the comment. If it's a question, we will answer it for you. So you can share to your pages as well, and say a hi to us, tell us, ask your questions. Like I said, our dietitian, she's very, very capable. And when I look at her qualifications, so bring all the big, big questions. She will answer them for you. Yeah.
So
Surprisingly, it's just a few minutes to time. Okay, so I think I'll
do
just
we have,
have your comments. Yes, please, Mrs.
if we
Salome.
don't have any question yet, let me
Oh,
just share
there's
one.
one question. There's one question that we can
Okay,
answer. Just showing it on the screen
okay.
right now. Can our babies be given zinc supplements? And secondly, in which foods can zinc nutrients be found? I think I'll answer the first part of the question, and then Mrs. Salome, you take the second part. Yes, so
Okay.
our babies can be given zinc supplements when they are exclusively breastfeeding. They get all the zinc they need from the breast milk. That it behoves on you, the mother, to make sure that you have enough zinc. Because as for the baby, God will always cheat you for the baby. Get what he or she needs from the breast milk. All the zinc you have, if you don't have enough, all that one will be taken and given to the baby. So you will have to supplement for yourself. But when that baby has bad diarrhea, even though it's exclusively breastfeeding, we will supplement if the diarrhea is bad enough. And yes, but beyond when the exclusive breastfeeding stops, when it comes to complementary feeding, that is where a lot of them may have zinc deficiency, because at that time, you know that it's always a struggle. Eat this, no, I mean, you are now introducing the food. They like breast milk still, but the breast milk cannot give them enough zinc at that time. So that is where you may need to supplement. Now, Mrs. Salome, can you? We have just a minute or so. Tell us which
Okay.
foods zinc can be found in.
Okay, like I said earlier on, it's mostly more bioavailable in the animal sources of proteins.
Bioavailable meaning what?
So the body readily absorbs the zinc from these foods. So chicken, beef, the animal products, your fish, your eggs, your milk, you get a good amount of zinc from there. From the plant sources to your beans, your seeds, and the nuts like cashew nuts, almonds, chia seeds and the rest, you also get some zinc from there. But like I said before, you need a good amount of protein in the meal or amino acids to be able to absorb the zinc well that you are getting from these foods. When it comes to the fruits, one of my favorite fruits is pear. I'm pearl, but I like pear, avocado a lot. It's one of the fruits that you get a good amount of zinc in there. You get about
Okay.
1.1 milligram
All right.
of
So
zinc in
Facebook
there.
is reminding us that our time is almost
It's
up. Thank you so much for joining. If you just joined, you can watch everything on replay. Even you can still like it, you can comment, you can ask your questions. We will attend to it. Myself and Mrs. Salome will attend to it. So even if you are not watching the live show, any question that you have, just leave it. We'll attend to it for you. So we are doing this under the auspices of Baby Child and Co. You should visit our blog, babychildandco.com. You can also find us on YouTube. And of course, you're on Facebook. So you know we are on Facebook. You can find us there as well. Ajua Jemfua, you just joined. No problem at all. You can watch everything and you can leave your questions and your comments as well. Thank you so much to Mrs. Pelselome, who has agreed to take time off to do this. And we will do a second part. When we agree on the date, we will let you know. So be sure to join her and me and Baby Child and Co. Let's do this. You can interact with us anytime via we have a WhatsApp number. You can do that. You can visit our blog and leave a comment. You can join our parenting forum. The parenting forum wants you to ask any question that you have. We want you to share parenting tips. We will come and answer that for you as well. So thank you so much, Phil, and thank you for joining. You can still share on replay. Thank you for joining. If you are seeing us on replay, everything is just the same. Thank you so much. And we'll bring this
Thank
session to a
you.
close. And then the next one, be sure to join us. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.